We are live. So how you doing, Dr. Linsey?
I'm doing good. How about you? Of
I'm doing great. Thank you for your having time for this interview.
course.
So we're gonna start off with some two generic questions.
Mhm.
So what is your upbringing and your background before you decided to become a chiropractor?
I initially grew up in a really small town known as Arcadia, Florida. It's in Southwest Florida. I grew
Mhm.
up an athlete. I played softball, middle school, and that's actually what I went to undergrad for. I ended up getting a scholarship, so I went to Edward Waters College, which is located in Jacksonville, Florida. Played there 4 years, graduated with a degree in biology. Then, while I was in school, I knew I wanted to be a doctor, but I wasn't sure which route to take. With me being athletic, I thought physical therapy because that was the one thing that was most common.
Yeah.
Then I actually had a knee injury. First thing that they jumped to was surgery. At the time, I didn't want to have surgery because it was going into my senior year. At that time, the most important thing is I want to play.
Yeah.
So I ended up undergoing physical therapy, and that's what really piqued my interest because I improved. I got better through holistic medicine. And I was like, if I didn't need surgery, how many other people don't need surgery and they just don't know about this? Because I was one of those people. Then eventually I realized that physical therapy wasn't as hands on as I like. I'm very interactive. I love helping people to the best of my ability. Then I always say everything happens for a reason because while I was in that transition period of dang, like I knew I wanted to do physical therapy, now I'm not sure. What do I do? Then someone from Palmer College of Chiropractic came. Then they talked about chiropractic, how it's hands on. It's basically very similar to physical therapy. So
Mhm.
I did my research, and then it was nothing for me to realize this is what I want to do. Ended up applying, getting in, then went to Palmer College of Chiropractic, Florida, in Port Orange, and then I graduated this past March.
Congratulations, by the
Thank you.
way. All right. So since you already answered the other question, why you want to become a chiropractor,
Hmm.
clearly why you want to become a
Yeah.
chiropractor right there. You answered that. So the next question is, what is the three top things that you should be doing in school right now to
Hmm.
become a successful chiropractor right now?
One thing that I learned throughout school is it can be stressful. It can wear down. And then eventually, sometimes along the way, you somewhat forget who you are. So, one thing I learned is make sure, number one, that you're always pouring into yourself, whether it be working out, just find that one outlet to get away from school, whether it be something productive for 30 minutes. That's one. Two, also networking, because at the end of the day, these are going to be your peers. These are going to be the people who you refer other people to. When you need advice on a patient that's coming in, these are the people that you're going to be reaching out to.
Yeah.
Whether it be, and also have an open mind, I guess would be my third thing. There are so many different techniques out there that there isn't just one is better than the other. They're all proven and benefit to health. Not one patient is the same, so every technique is different. So this also ties into networking. If someone specializes in something you're not familiar with, you have that outlet to reach out to them as well.
That's really good. So far as you saying networking,
Hmm.
is it like you going to like seminars and
Hmm.
that you doing on social media, um,
Hmm.
through Instagram? Is you networking?
Yeah, all those are wonderful outlets, but also you have your teachers there that are also there, your classmates as well, because they're all going to go on their separate paths as well. I know I still reach out to my classmates every once in a while and be like, hey guys, I have this patient, just I don't know what to do. I tried everything I can think of. Let me pick y'all's brain. So even your classmates can be a good, reliable source. Seminars are always good, conferences because you get to meet new people as well.
Yeah. So it's just like importance of like also you out there trying to
Hmm.
network and also finding mentorship uh,
Hmm.
you- while you networking. That's pretty cool. That's a real key. That's why I have been doing a lot lately as well. So for the next question, since I've seen that you're working with Dr. Turner now, so which is
Yep.
was Granger. So why did you choose associateship over ownership at post graduation?
I knew that opening right out of school was never something that I initially intended to do.
Yeah,
I had a lot of personal family matters at that time. So at that point, chiropractic was also new to me. I knew nothing about running a business. I knew none of that. Thankfully, like I said, everything happens for a reason. I ended up meeting Dr. Turner at a conference, heard her speak, and I was like, she knows something.
oh
She ended up becoming my mentor. Then I knew at the end of the day that there was something that I could always learn. Because as far as billing went, I didn't really know how much caliber went into it, as well as insurances, until I got that exposure while I was with her.
yeah. So getting your exposure from Dr. Turner, is there
Mhm.
certain key focuses that you had when you like shadowing her, like you want to see like how she operate? Is any type
Mhm.
of thing that you focused in on that while you were
At,
shadowing?
at that time, I was focusing on just how the operation runs in general. It goes down to the smallest thing as far as hiring someone. Those type of things I never really thought about. What
Yeah,
it takes to hire someone. What operations and systems do you want to have within your clinic? Do you want to have cash or do you want to go through insurance? What hours do you want to operate?
yeah,
All those small details you never really pay attention to while you're in school. You're just thinking, let me open. Now I realize that there's so much going into it as well. More so me, I just kept an open mind. I looked at it as every day I had something to learn.
yeah.
So I just took every day and I just grew from those.
That's really good. To add on to that, I just learned like me shadowing period with
Mhm.
other chiropractors. I learned that there's are different personalities that you have to have throughout your
Mhm.
staff, because if there's only one personality throughout the staff, it's not really going to operate as
Mhm.
efficiently throughout the chiropractic career. Um,
Mhm.
I noticed that when I was doing a lot of shadowing.
Yes, exactly.
So the next question is, it's kind of almost similar as the first question. It said, what unique insights you will give to current chiropractic students to be successful this period throughout, just being successful as a student, being successful
Mhm.
as a future chiropractor, just their profession.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So, like I said, number one, always keep an open mind because, like I said, every day you learn something new, whether
Yeah.
you realize it or not. And then every experience, even if you don't like it, is a learning experience. You can go to an office and shadow and be like, I don't like how this is ran. So that way, at the end of the day, you know what you like and what you don't like. So even the things that you don't like or you go through, it's still a learning experience. You may not realize it right now, but down the line, you'll be like, you know what? I realize it now, but I'm grateful that it didn't go that way because I learned from it.
That's really good. That's a great answer. Like, so for the next answer is really just focusing on your actual chiropractic career itself. So what adversities that you encountered in your chiropractic career so far, and how did you overcome
Mm. When my undergrad at Edward Waters was an HBCU. So transitioning from an HBCU to Palmer College of Chiropractic was a big transition. I was the only African American female that graduated in my class, along with one other African American male.
it? Yeah,
So going from being completely surrounded from people that look at you to just being the one that stands out in the class was completely different for me. Then of course you felt that you had to hold a certain standard within being that only person in the class.
yeah,
Then throughout Palmer, there's only a handful per class. So with the Sacred chapter, when I first started, it was really, really small. It was about 4 or 5 members at the most that were actually involved. Whereas I said, if this chapter is gonna, if we're only gonna have a limited amount of students, we need to get all of them in here to where that way we can all lean on one another when need be. So
Yeah.
I started recruiting heavy. Every time I seen someone, a new quarter, I would always introduce myself. I'd be like, "Hi, how are you doing?" Because I had those select few that helped me along the way. So I just wanted to help others because it's different from asking someone that looks like you for help versus someone who doesn't.
Yeah.
So I was always making sure that I was there whenever they need me, whether it come to any advice and vice versa. I'm a big see one, teach one person.
Yeah.
So if you help one person along the way, that inspires others to do so as well. Then eventually the South chapter grew to about 20 so members, and now Palmer is thriving as well.
Yeah.
Then that actually pushed my fire to wanting to work primarily in a minority community due to the minority community not having the exposure to chiropractic as much as it should.
Yeah. So can you say by being in the SAPU chapter that has molded your career to be more in the front line versus just being in the mix? You can say?
Most definitely.
Yeah.
SAPTA helped me reach out to those members of ACTA, such as Dr. Edwards, who's amazing as well, and Dr. Vaugh. I would have never met those if I was not involved in SAPTA, as well as ACTA, and had that interaction with them. And then also just that intermingling with those conferences and seminars.
Mm-hmm. So I'm just going to kind of backtrack just a tad bit on the things. Just to like talk about something. So what advice would you give your younger self to prepare for chiropractic school, knowing what you know now?
I would tell myself to take more advantage, I guess, of student opportunities. As a student, you get a lot of discounts and exposure to things that I wish I had taken more advantage of as well. I wish I had gone, I guess, to more seminars and branched out more. I would tell myself that timing is everything. Everything happens for a reason. So even though it may seem as a setback, it's just a temporary. Or it could be something that wasn't meant for you, and then something greater happens along the way.
Yeah, that's a great answer. Far as that, that's pretty much all the questions that I have that I've written down before. Is any other thing that you would like to say?
I would like to say that any student who needs any advice or anything, do not hesitate to contact me at all. I am always open. You can find my information on my doctor page on my Instagram, or just reach out to me. My email is just Dr. Linsey, the chiroplace at Gmail. So we are also currently accepting any students that want to come and intern. Dr. Turner and I are more than happy to have as many of y'all as we possibly can. So do not hesitate anything from coming to shadow. I'm here for everyone.
Well, thank you for your time, and
No problem.
being Glass for setting this up.
No problem.
Have a blessed day.
You as well. Thank you.
Thank you.